שבוע טוב, a gute Woche, a gut Chodesh, Chodesh Tov. This is the beginning, tonight is the beginning of the month of Mar Cheshvan. We call it Mar Cheshvan, the month is Cheshvan. Mar means sir. It's a title of honor in Aramaic. And why do we call it Mar Cheshvan rather than just Cheshvan? Because we just finished, or we're finishing, the month of Tishrei, where we have all these important holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchas Torah, Shmini Atzeret, and suddenly we have a month without any Torah holidays. So he's a commoner, but he's standing next to a very important person, so we give him a title of honor. Last week, Motzi Shabbos, when Shabbos finished, it was on Yom Tov, on a holiday in which I did not make a recording, and so I did not tell the story of the Baal Shem Tov on video. So this week I will tell two for the price of one. All right, good deal. One was in the Hayom Yom of today. The Hayom Yom tells that there was a resident of the city of Mezibush, where the Baal Shem Tov lived, that had a quarrel with another. And one day in the shul of the Baal Shem Tov, he shouted to the Jew he had the problem with, not the Baal Shem Tov, this Jew who had a problem with the other, said, I am going to cut you in pieces, like when we chop fish. I guess for the gefilte fish, once they skin the fish out, they chop. In those days they didn't have like a grinder, so they would chop in little pieces. So it was a way to say, I'm very, very angry at you. I'm going to tear you to pieces. But he didn't actually lay a finger on the other guy. He just says this. The Baal Shem Tov brought close to him his close Talmidim, his pupils, and had them hold hands, especially the ones that were holding the Baal Shem Tov's hands. They would make a little circle, close their eyes while they face the place where this Jew had just said those words. With their eyes closed and holding the Baal Shem Tov's hands, the two Talmidim, the two students that were next to the Baal Shem Tov, screamed in pain, in agony, what they just saw with their eyes closed. And when they opened their eyes, nothing happened, but with their eyes closed, they saw that the Jew who said it was holding a knife, and they was holding the other Jew, and was chopping him, like chopping the fish for gefilte fish. Of course, such a dismemberment, such a thing is a horrible thing to see. But they opened the eyes and it hadn't happened. I mean, both of them were entire in one piece. He wasn't holding anything. He hadn't laid a finger. So there was a lesson to be taught here from this incident is that every koach, every force in potence, every potential has an effect in a physical form or in a spiritual plane that can be perceived with the higher and most refined of the senses. Of course, if a negative thing could be perceived also a positive thing, and when we say a good wish, a bracha, or we have the intention to do something good, we haven't yet gotten to realizing it, but we intending it, we say it, we're also having a positive and good effect. Now I have the Shibchi Abesht. Shibchi Abesht is a book compiled by one of the Talmidim of the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Yaakov Yosef, of a town in Yiddish is called Polonoi, in Ukrainian today, and in Polish is called Polnoi, not too far from Mezibush, in the region of Podolia, in what today is the Ukraine, back then it was Poland. And what matters about this book is that the author met the Baal Shem Tov, studied, was one of the close followers of the Baal Shem Tov, and compiles this book about 30 years after the passing of the Baal Shem Tov, talking to people who met the Baal Shem Tov. He compiles stories. So rather than a collection of stories that have gone from person to person and we kind of lost the track of how how it came actually from Baal Shem Tov, and you could question, is this a true story, if it's just an imaginary legend. This is anecdotes of people who were close enough in time that they could remember the stories from the Baal Shem Tov. So the story goes that once it was the Shabbat before Pesach, and the Baal Shem Tov, the Rav, and here they call the Baal Shem Tov the Rav, as he was the Rav of the Shul in Mezhebush, had finished the Tefillah of Shachris, the morning prayers in Shabbos, and before anything he stopped, took off his talit, walks toward the exit of the shul. Usually when somebody does that, and this is what they assume, that he was going to go to the facilities, to the bathroom that was right outside the shul, a place where people did. But through the window, they say the Baal Shem Tov walking toward the courtyard that had in front of the street. And right in front, there's a group of people passing. They're holding a bear. And these people going through, I guess, is the non-Jews, holding a bear with a rope, I guess, to the nose. How you hold the bear? No, they're pulling him, and the Baal Shem Tov walks after them. So the Hasidim come out of the shul with talesim and all, and they're walking to see what's going on. A certain distance, following the Baal Shem Tov. And the Baal Shem Tov follows this group of people with the bear all the way to the market of the town. A Jew would not go to market on Shabbos, but the Baal Shem Tov, there's a reason why he's going. And suddenly the bear breaks loose and breaks the rope they were holding him with, and roars and makes a huge noise, and the people near stand back, run, take a distance, because they're afraid of a loose bear that, And the bear goes, and Baal Shem Tov standing in his place and walks after where the bear is going. The bear goes to the entrance of the house of the judge of Mezhebush. Talking about a Polish, not Jewish judge. Shem Tov sees, people are following him. The people from the market, I guess, are following the Baal Shem Tov, as well as the Hasidim, following the bear. The bear pushes and breaks open the door to the vestibule, to the entrance, and then into the house of the judge. The Baal Shem Tov looks through the window, and so do all the other people following, the people from the market and the Hasidim, through the windows. They see the bear comes in the middle of the living room, the entrance, and pushes a table and lifts something up, and then there is just the ground, the uncovered floor, and starts digging. And then the bear pulls out, and with its paws pulls out like this a body. And the bear stands in two legs and pulls him out, and everybody sees there is a dead body there. And the Baal Shem Tov says, "You're all witnesses." And then he says in Polish, protest, complain. You're all witness of what wasn't here. And then he turns and tells them they were going to use this body to pin a false accusation of ritual murder on the Jews, what they call the Alilas Dam, the Blood Libel. But now you're a witness that in the house of the judge there was hidden this corpse, and it wasn't like a Jew knew and went to this bear that got lost, pulled him out. The Baal Shem Tov just tell them protest, and you're witnesses, right? And then he goes back to shul, puts on the talis, they continue reading the Torah, Musaf, and through this miracle of the loose bear, they were able to prevent a false accusation and maybe a pogrom or a who knows what legal complication the judge would have done on the Jews of Mezhibush. Both were negative examples for a positive message. Everything that happens, the Baal Shem Tov says and insists, is ashgacha pratis, is divine providence. Even the lost bird that starts running, may it be that not only do the bad things become nullified, but as we are beginning this important month, Mar Cheshvan, and we have begun this new year of Tavshin Pei Aleph, may it be that we have a good week and a good year, and all the things that we had to worry about may no longer be that we have to worry. The problems should be solved. We should see the light, not just at the end of the tunnel, in front of us. We should live good, and things would be revealed as good to us. And rather than saying bad things and having a potential of bad, the potential should be good and should be realized spiritually and physically in good. A good Tavoch, a good Chodesh, a good year. Shavua Tov, Chodesh Tov, Shana Tova. A good week, a good month, and a good year.